Well, hello once again, everyone. It's your boy Jingles Roscoe with another speed drawing. And it's the new year once again. And with the new year comes another Cammy speed drawing. Let's see if I've improved at all over the last year. So yeah, here we are again. Finally, after quite a long hiatus, I'm finally back with another speed drawing. I've been really meaning to get back into this because it has been far too long since my last one. And I like making these a lot, and I enjoy making videos a lot. But I've been busy, and I've been procrastinating in other ways. So, like, something that I haven't really brought up, I didn't really put it up on Twitter or anything. I've only let a few friends online know. A few months ago, I lost my regular job that I had going for a while. I was at this grocery store for about almost 4 years, and then I made a mistake, and I got myself relieved from my job, so we'll say. It was nothing like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you do something like that, but it was a rule that that I didn't know they were so strict about, and like the rule was really needed. We needed to follow the rule, and like it was just, I kind of feel like it was a bit of a misunderstanding. But long story short, I haven't had a job for a little while, and I was just kind of down and like lethargic. I wouldn't really say depressed, because I don't know, I think I'm kind of weird in that I don't really get like depressed. I'll get sad about stuff and I'll be sad for a little bit, but my default emotion is always like happy, you know? I'm always very grateful for everything that I have. I'm grateful for life, and like, I don't know, I always try to look on the bright side of everything. And yeah, after losing my job, haven't being able to find anything new for a little while, I just haven't had the motivation or energy to work on anything. And so I hadn't really been doing much of anything, and I had like videos for my Let's Plays that I do with my younger brother Smiter. Had a lot of those recorded, and just been kind of sitting on them. There was a problem going on with just the editing stuff, and now that that's finally been resolved, you're gonna be seeing hopefully a lot more gameplay videos. If that's kind of your thing, it's something that I feel like it's very easy to produce, and I have a lot of fun doing it, and that's one of the big reasons why my brother and we get together and we play games together. And with certain games, we'll have some other guests that are close friends that are also really into the games that we're playing, and that's what was going on with Assassin's Creed. Smiter and I did Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Double Dragon Neon. We finished those games, and those videos are already up if you'd like to see them. I can put them in the card and in the description for the playlists for those. I really enjoyed those, and those are games that I really like. If that's not your thing and you're here for art, I am gonna try and get more art stuff put out. Now that I kind of consider myself in a more of a mindset to create again. And I guess one of the people that I really ought to thank for that is S Comic Maker, and her husband. Their streams have been just a delight to be a part of, and they get me thinking creatively and get me going in actually drawing stuff and getting, stuff drawn, and finishing a piece. I've been sketching a lot, and I've eventually, I think I'm gonna make a video showing off all the different sketches and stuff that I've made in my different sketchbooks. I'm planning on a sketchbook tour of just like, you know, a sketchbook. um, but that's probably going to be a little bit still. I have ideas for videos about a bunch of old artworks that I have tucked away, stored in safe places, just as like examples of where I used to be many years ago, and how I've improved over the years. But one of my big focuses also on this channel, when it comes to the art side of it, is to kind of help younger artists or newer artists, like trying to show them ways on how they themselves can improve on their art. I've mentioned in other videos, like, if you're just stagnating in one area in your art and you're not improving, then you're done, in my opinion. You don't have to like keep going anymore. You're finished. You've done what you've set out to do. But me, I want to get a lot better, and I still feel like there's tons of areas where I can improve, and that's why I do these Cammy picks every year. I'll show you the other ones that I've done. This is the 5th year in a row that I've drawn Cammy, and I've done different outfits for her, and because when I started drawing her when I was younger, I've always been, and I've said it in a lot of my videos, like, I don't want to objectify anyone, right? Like, sexually objectify anyone, and especially like really well-written characters. And it's one of the big reasons why I am not into like a lot of isekai anime and a lot of harem anime and stuff like that, where the entire point is just objectifying and reducing female characters into objects, into they don't have real personalities. They fill in a niche or a fetish for someone. And I want to be a good writer. I want to be able to write real, interesting, layered characters. And like shows like that, they're not interesting, and they don't have interesting characters or well-written characters. There are some exceptions, obviously, and I'm sure if you guys have any exceptions that you'd like to share with me, by all means, share them with me in the comments, because I would love to be wrong in this situation. But as I was saying, yeah, when I first started drawing Cammy, I found this, I don't know if it's an alternate outfit, or if it counts as an alternate outfit, but she was a hidden boss character in the video game Final Fight Streetwise, which was a Western developed game, I believe, and I'll put the information down here on screen. But in Final Fight Streetwise, she was a hidden character, and Final Fight is another Capcom series, and there's been a lot of crossover between Street Fighter and Final Fight, including characters that originated in Final Fight becoming playable characters in Street Fighter. There's more and more characters that are making the transition from Final Fight over to Street Fighter. But anyway, Cammy was a hidden boss that you could fight, and she had this outfit that I thought looked really great, and like modern depictions of Cammy don't have her like wearing pants ever. There's like her story mode costume in Street Fighter V, which almost has her in uniform, but with no pants. And I thought that's the weirdest thing, you know? She's an army girl. She's part of the British Army. She's part of the Special Forces unit Delta Red. And when they're out in the field, though, they have their own Delta Red uniforms, which if I can find the picture, I'll put it up here for you. But like out of that, you know, I can't find anything in my research that proves or disproves this thought, but I assume that they would wear, you know, proper uniforms when not out in the field doing their Delta Red work. And so, like, it's just, in Street Fighter V, a lot of the female characters are being, I feel like, they're looking more and more objectified, and they're enunciating their sexuality more than they ever have. Now, I don't mind if there's a character that's really confident in their sexuality and is confident in showing off, like, you know, themselves. You know, Juri Han, which I've drawn before, she's a character that uses her sexuality kind of as a weapon. You know, she's very distracting, like, you know, that's part of her character is being, like, confident in her body and in her fighting. And that's interesting for her. And Poison is another character that's like that. But there's other characters that aren't all about showing off like that. And some female characters that aren't like that. But with all the, like, costumes and, like, other stuff that has been showing up in Street Fighter V, just like the characters that aren't normally all about that, they're being depicted as all about that now. And I just think it's the weirdest thing. Anyway, kind of a tangent, but that's why I originally drew Cammy in the Street Fighter, Final Fight Streetwise costume, you know. And I did that for the first year, and I did that for the second year. And then the last couple of years, I drew her in her usual costume from Street Fighter 2, and also in Street Fighter 4, and yeah, just her usual Delta Red costume. Because at that point I was older, I'm all like, I feel like I can draw her without over accentuating, like, you know, that stuff. I might be a weirdo because I'm like that, but it's just kind of the way I feel about characters, you know. Like, I don't care for characters that are, like, you know, big booby, big butts, just running around, like, with no brains, right? I like characters that have depth, complexity, and characters like that can have depth and complexity, but it's very rare whenever a creator actually does that. And so when it does happen, I'm like, yes, that's great. But it doesn't happen very often, especially in modern anime. Which is really too bad, because I'd love to see more interesting characters and more characters that have more depth than just, you know, the size of their breasts. Anyway, so yeah, Cammy, I draw her because I think she's pretty, and she's an interesting character to me. And growing up, I didn't like her very much because at first I thought all she was just like a character for her to win a fight and then turn around and then show her butt, which she still does. But there's like a complexity to her. She used to be part of the bad guys team. I don't know if you know much about Street Fighter, but I'm going to try and explain it as simply as possible for anyone that doesn't really know. So she was a brainwashed soldier, part of Shadaloo, that was part of this unit called the Dolls Unit. And the Dolls Unit was a bunch of brainwashed fighter women that fought for the main bad guy, M. Bison, or in Japan he's known as Vega, but I'm from America, so I'm going to call him M. Bison. You know, she was able to break away from that, and she's been fighting to try and save all the other dolls and break them from their brainwashing so that they can have a normal life, you know. And like, that's her goal, and she fights for Delta Red to do that. And you know, there's complexity to that, you know, and it's one of the reasons why I like her. And also, like, her gameplay style, when Street Fighter 4 came out, I really picked up Cammy and learned how to use her pretty well. I'm still pretty trash at fighting games in general, especially like 2D traditional fighting games. But I can have fun with it. And yeah, she's fun to play. She's an interesting character, and she's pretty, you know. And that's all I really need, I guess. But yeah. And I guess I chose Cammy also because she's a good example of trying to figure out how well you can draw anatomy and, you know, stuff like that. And as I've mentioned in other videos, it wasn't until really recently that I've been really like putting forth work and effort to make to be able to draw women in an anatomically pleasing way, anatomically pleasing way. And Cammy is my like way of measuring how well I've been doing, and also just how I've been improving in character drawings in general. And you know, she's been working out so far, I guess. And I don't know at this end result of this particular Cammy, I don't know if it's any better or worse than the last two ones that I made, because I've been really proud of the last two ones that I've made, but I'm also really proud of this one. So I guess I don't think I'm getting any worse. I don't know how much more I've improved, but that's because I see my own drawings all the time. And so sometimes it's hard to tell, but you know, overall I'm happy with this one, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. But yeah, since it's the new year, and I guess resolutions are kind of in order, I tried to follow my resolutions that I made last year, which I said in my last video. I tried to keep to one video every 2 weeks at least. Which I was doing okay for the first few months, and then I trailed off near the end. And there's like work-related reasons for that, but and just like feeling apathetic and stuff like that. But I'm gonna try and continue to be more consistent with my speed drawings. I feel like it'll be a lot easier to be more consistent with my gameplay videos. So the gameplay videos are mainly there just to have something to offer people that that are waiting for my next speed drawing video, because they take a little while for me to do, because I have to think about the character, and then I have to draw the character, and that takes this took me almost 5 hours. But I think mainly that was because I was also kind of getting distracted here and there, but that's my own fault. Gameplay videos are easier and faster to make. And so that's kind of the idea behind making them. And I hope you guys enjoy them, because I'm having a lot of fun playing games, and there's more games that I'm planning on putting out. I have quite a few videos recorded in the backlog, rendered out. I just need to make thumbnail pictures for them, which probably takes the longest, but after that's done, then I can start uploading them. So if you guys are interested in that, please let me know. I have a few examples out already of what that kind of entails, and the kind of humor and entertainment stuff that I want to bring forth with it. But if you just are here for the speed drawings, thank you for enjoying those. I really appreciate it. Once again, thanks to S Comic Maker for helping me kind of get back into the rhythm of drawing more often and making more videos. And thank you for anybody that came from S Comic Maker's channel, because that's awesome that you guys spent the time to come and check out my stuff as well. And yeah, just thanks for watching. I make these videos because one, I want to entertain, and two, I want to teach. And so those are my goals for right now. We'll see how they go. Also, I guess I should look for another job. That should be goal number one, actually. Anyway, thanks a bunch for watching. I hope you guys have a great year.